Do you need a sliding fifth wheel hitch? And if so, how do you store it? Those are two topics that we're going to discuss in tonight's video, so stick around. There's two main reasons that I run a sliding fifth wheel hitch. The first of which is pretty obvious. I'm trying to avoid contact with the back of my cab and blowing out my back window on my truck. The second is to make hooking up to my fifth wheel easier, because in my particular truck and trailer combination, when I back up to my trailer and the hitch is slid forward, I don't have a lot of clearance between the tailgate and the front of the trailer. And I will show you guys that here in a minute. So let's get hooked up to the trailer. I'm going to show you the clearance issues I've got when I'm hooking up. And then we're going to pull the truck and trailer out onto the road. And I'm going to maneuver into a jackknife position, both with the sliding hitch forward and back. And I'm going to show you aerial views from above of the different angles that you'll get, even a side-by-side comparison, to help you see the difference between having a hitch slid forward or back. And hopefully you'll be able to decide whether it's worth you taking the risk of a non-sliding hitch or purchasing a slider. So just to kind of show you guys a little bit what I was talking about here. Right now my hitch is slid back. When I slide that forward, I'm only going to have a couple inches of clearance right here. So you'll see here in a minute. We'll drop the tailgate back down after we slide the hitch, and I'll show you. So these operate so nice. These B&W hitches are so nice and smooth. And we're going to hold the trailer brake. All right, we're in reverse. I'm going to let off the truck brake. The trailer should stop. There we go. So one thing's important, make sure you check. Make sure that's relatched down and that it's not still up. If that doesn't go down, you didn't lock in. So you can see now I've got a whole lot less clearance there. And if the truck were not perfectly straight, we could easily put a corner of the tailgate into the front of the trailer, and that would not make Mama happy. Wouldn't make me happy either. So we are going to get you guys a bird's eye view of what this looks like with the hitch slid back and with it slid forward, thanks to our lovely assistant up there, Caitlin. She will be filming from above, looking down at the bed of the truck. You ready, kiddo?
Ready.
All right. We're just going to roll you guys down to the cul-de-sac here out in front of our house. And then I should be able to back up for you and show you pretty easily the difference in the angle you can get with the hitch back versus the hitch forward. Okay, as you can see here, we've got plenty of room. We're not a full 90 yet, but we can get there. However, I'm not going to take it to a full 90 because it's very hard on those axles to be torqued like that. They're not meant to be torqued like that, and I can already hear some popping back here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull ahead and I'm going to slide the hitch back to its driving position, and we'll make this maneuver again. Okay, so our hitch is now slid forward to the normal driving position, and we're going to go ahead and make that turn again. Just so you can see the difference here. That's about as far as I'm gonna go. So you can see here, I could probably come a little further, but not gonna be much further before we start having interference here. So you should be able to see from up above the angle difference. So that's, that's not bad. You can get quite a turn out of it that way. You just can't get to that full 90 without fear of contact. So like I said, I can probably go a little further, but I'm not going to. I like making videos for you guys, but I don't like making them so much I want to take out my back window.
So here's an overhead side-by-side view. On the left, you have the truck with the fifth wheel hitch slid forward, and on the right, the hitch is slid back, giving you that tighter turn radius. It's important to remember, too, that even though you may think you don't need to slide your hitch back, if you have any kind of an uphill grade where the trailer could become closer to the truck due to a forward pivot, it is definitely advantageous to have the hitch slid back to avoid accidentally taking out your back window.
I do much prefer backing up these big tandem axle trailers compared to a small single axle. And I've got this little uniquely shaped hook at the end of my driveway, so it's not just a 90 degree to the road kind of a deal. You come in and then you've got to contend with a turn immediately, and then you've got to straighten it back out. So one of the big complaints about a fifth wheel hitch or a sliding fifth wheel hitch is that they're heavy. They take up a lot of space in the bed of your truck. And what do you do if you're at a campground, or maybe you've parked the trailer somewhere for long term and you don't have anybody to help you, or an overhead cable winch like the one I have here in the barn? How do you get the hitch out? So there's a real easy solution. You can leave it hanging right on the pin box. So the next portion of the video will show me demonstrating how to remove the hitch from the truck and put it back in using the pin box on your trailer. So one of the downsides to the sliding or traditional, we'll say, fifth wheel hitch over like something like an Anderson hitch, people will tell you that these are really heavy, and if you're at a campground or something and you want to get it out of the truck, it takes 2 or 3 people. A lot of people don't realize you can lift these out of the truck with your trailer. So as you can see here, the clasps are opened up and it's ready to lift out. It's hitched to the trailer. My daughter's going to go ahead and press the button that says extend, which is down. That's going to extend our jacks, which is going to lift the nose of the trailer, and will eventually lift that hitch right out of the bed of the truck for us. And as you can see there, it's clear. So we basically, at this point, we just need to drive the truck forward and let that hitch hang there. Caitlin's watching the hitch back there for you with the camera. So what Caitlin's doing right now is she's raising the nose of the trailer a little more because the back of the truck is raked up. So I have to raise the trailer even higher to get the truck out from underneath the hitch. Good? We clear? Okay. So putting it back in is a little trickier because you do have to back it in perfect to get it to drop back into the puck system. If you have a standard rail system, same thing, you're going to drop it, back into those holes in the rails. I've done it many times. It does require a little more effort and a little bit more precise movement when you're backing in, but it can be done. It's not that much more difficult than backing in to line up, say, a gooseneck ball for those people that are using, they call it a Reese goose box adapter instead of their standard pin box. So I'm going to back in here. Caitlin's going to do her best to get you the footage, and we'll show this thing dropping back in. So I do utilize my in-bed camera for this. I have the 360 camera set up, and I do utilize that. Am I looking pretty close? Take a quick peek. Am I pretty centered? Okay. We could have done a little better job getting it exactly perfect. We're not perfect, but I've done this enough. I know I can fudge it in there. So we're gonna go ahead and lower the nose of the trailer down. So the idea is now is what you want is you want to get where your jaws are not loaded either, by the weight of the hitch or by the weight of the trailer. So in this case, you can see the jaws are on the bottom of the pin. So what we'll do is we'll lower down until the pin actually starts to move away from the bottom of the jaws. That way I know I've got all the weight off of it. And then I'll open the jaws and I'll pull the truck ahead. And then I'll just have to scoot the hitch over into the hole, into the holes for the puck. Shouldn't be too difficult. That didn't take much at all. You can see those jaws are kind of in the center of that pin opening there. So we should be static. There shouldn't be any load on the hitch at all. So we can go ahead and open our jaws. And then I'll just pull the truck ahead. Close. Just like that. So not too tough, even for a guy with a bad back. And it may not be the ideal way for you to store your hitch, but it can be done if you really need the hitch out of there and you don't have any other means to get it out. It certainly is a way that you can remove it from the truck and make use of your bed. Fact is, before I lived where I do, we paid to store this fifth wheel, and where we stored it, it was just easier to leave the hitch on the nose of the trailer for the winter rather than have to come home and unload it. So that's what we did. We left the hitch hanging on the tongue of the trailer. Now that was a different truck, and at that time it was actually the old Husky roller hitch, and it had the rails. The disadvantage the Super Duty has is this big crew cab does make it hard to see into the bed from the driver's seat. So my old Dodge, I really had to stretch when I turned around and look, but I could actually see the rails, at least the back rail, from the driver's seat, and I was able to back it in absolutely perfect. In fact, usually on the first try, didn't even have to pull ahead. But this makes it a little more challenging, but if you've got a helper that can kind of spot you, that's not too tough. So if you were asking those two questions, do I need a sliding hitch, or how can I get it out of the truck when I'm by myself, I hope tonight's video helped you out. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.